Hello and welcome to MH110OLA, the online version of college algebra. I'm sorry for my voice. I've been sick leading up to the semester. Hopefully you can still make out what I'm trying to say. But my name's Ed Moulton and I'll be your instructor this semester. I'm starting out from the dashboard in Canvas. From the dashboard, I'm going to select your class, which is this 2024 MH110OLA College Algebra. When I go there, I see my version. You guys would see the student version, but hopefully you see the same things that are green and published right now. First thing you should see is this important course information. This is the home page, but really it's the modules page. If you ever want to get back to this information presented the way I want it to be presented, you click on this left-hand navigation, modules. The main course page I want you in is modules. Under important course information, the first two things are important general policies of Manor College that used to be included in the syllabus that I broke out and put here. It is important you're familiar with them, but they're not really specific to my class. Anything that's specific to my class from the syllabus is here in syllabus MH110OLA. I go over everything in the syllabus that I want you to understand in this syllabus review under the Getting Started week. Hope is in the first 4 days of the class, you work through this Getting Started Week 1 module here in Syllabus Review. If you click on it, you'll see a link that goes to a video. It isn't quite uploaded yet. It's uploading now as we go. But basically, it'll take you to YouTube and then show you a video like the one that you're viewing now about things that I care about from the syllabus. I also have included in this general section the instructor that just goes over who I am, a graphing lines in WebAssign, which shows you the WebAssign screen where the online homework is and shows you how to use it. This builds towards this Welcome to College Algebra quiz, which I guess I might as well go ahead and publish. I believe it becomes available to you tomorrow when the course opens. This quiz, once you've viewed all the materials above, you're going to click on, and when you click on it, it's going to open up and have 10 multiple choice questions to be answered about this material. The other things and important course information, this Engage technical support is something I'll direct you to if I can't help solve your problems with why you're having trouble getting connected to the system. In general, it's become a lot more user friendly, but I did have students who struggled with that in years past as they're just kind of getting used to a new college experience and using a new system. Really, the way that your Cengage is going to be activated, the way that you'll access the online homework, clicking this MH110OLA. When you click that for the first time, it's going to ask you for your Cengage login and password. If you've already been here and had classes that use Cengage, you already have that login and password. You can just use the same one you used in previous semesters. If you've never used Cengage before, then it's going to ask you to create an account. My recommendation is that you create that account using your Manor email and a password that you'll remember easily. Basically, you've paid for the account. It just needs to link through Canvas. So by clicking this link and saying create account, it'll link to your Canvas ID and be linked forever. Part of your Manor tuition pays for this platform. You should not have to pay anything out of pocket. You should not worry about if it says that a free trial is going to expire or something like that. No matter what, you should have the account paid for as part of what you've already paid to. So once it's properly linked and you click on this link to properly link it, then what's going to happen in the future is when you come down to the modules where we're actually doing work, any of these that have a due date and a point value, you'll click on through modules. When you click on it, it will open in WebAssign and let you do the homework. So to show kind of how my lessons are organized, go in here to graphs and linear equations, your first module would work. This first page, this first one is actually a redo of what's above graphing lines and WebAssign. So I just refer back to it when students have a couple questions about why their line's not staying or what type of line they have to go. Basically, that same information twice within the module. Where the real information begins is with this page that's split into 4 tabs. The first thing is objectives that tells you what we're trying to learn. The next thing is PowerPoint lecture. If you click on the top link here, this is the actual PowerPoint slides because some students have said it's tough to see sometimes from my presentation where I'm standing in front of a big projector projecting up the information. But if you click on this YouTube link, this is me going over the entire lecture the way I would in class. These video examples are another professor that I found on YouTube going over the same type of information in case you have trouble understanding it from me. I then have these classwork pages where if you click on this document, it'll have problems like what I'm going to ask you to do in WebAssign done out in a Word document. You ideally would watch the lecture, then try some of these on your own before watching the video where I do all of the answers out on a whiteboard. These answers and the way that I do them really are the best way for you to get help on how you're going to need to attempt and complete the questions that I'm going to ask you in the homework that then lead to the questions that I'm going to ask you on the test. These videos students have found the most useful in the past because they're directed to be questions asked in the exact same way that you'll be. Basically demonstrations of classwork. That said, there has been confusion in the past. Students have printed out the Word document, thought that they had to turn in the answers. I go over all the answers in the video. This is more of a demonstration than it is something that you're being graded on. So you do not need to turn in this classwork. This is just part of the course that helps you learn. If I go back to module, again, for anything that is a lecture in the class, it will have one of these pages that has the objectives, it has the lecture video, it has other teachers doing similar things, it has the classwork video. Then directly underneath, you'll have work to be completed. For this first week of class, ending this Sunday, you have 2 sections to get through. This section, graphing with rectangular coordinates, and this section, equations containing 2 variables. Underneath each are the work that you do in WebAssign. Again, you click here for it to then open in WebAssign. Once you're in WebAssign, you can't move between assignments. You need to go back into modules and click again on the new assignment to then open it again in WebAssign. I know that's not the most user-friendly thing, but basically it makes it so that it automatically grades things in Canvas. It makes them linked in a way that's really nice for me and is nice for you to always know what your grade is in the class. So I know it's a little annoying to have to go back and forth between the modules and the WebAssign work, but it is something that you have to do. When we get to the end of a unit, you're going to see that I have a full online sample test for every test that you take. Online sample test will be questions of the same level in the same order that the actual test is. The online sample tests also are ungraded. I do provide videos of me going over questions like everything that's in the sample test. For the sample test, as well as for all your homeworks in the actual test, there are some numbers which are randomized. This is done so that your test isn't exactly the same as some other classmate in your class. Basically, you'll both have the same level question, but for hers it might be 4x equals 12. For yours, it might be 4x equals 20. It'll be slightly different in the same way that the video that I create going over online sample test questions might be slightly different from your exact questions. It'll be the same level questions done the same way. Sample tests, there will be 100 attempts that you're allowed online. The reason I give that many attempts is because I just want you to be able to work through it as you're studying for the test. Again, the sample tests are ungraded, they're not actually due. That said, students who take them seriously and complete them always do better on the course, always do better on the test, which are the most important grades in the course. Show you kind of what these assignments look like. If I view this graphing with rectangular coordinates assignment, first assignment in the class, it'll ask me questions like, in the following illustration, fill in the missing coordinate of each highlighted point on the graph. This point on the graph is happening at an x value of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. a y value of 0. So I'd put in here for this point 5, 0. So I already have the 5 before the comma, so I'd put in the y coordinate of 0 here. I think I've showed you everything I want to show you. Again, the main points here are going to be asked about in a quiz. You can see where that quiz is in the Getting Started unit. Here, welcome to College Algebra. Do make sure that you're completing that quiz by Friday this week.